We are now in section 1.2, and I just want to talk a little bit about the basics of functions before we go into working with some specific examples of functions. This is probably a review for a lot of you, but I want you to remember that a function is a rule that assigns an input value to exactly one output value. That's kind of the key in this case, is that there's only one output value. There could be multiple input values, but it has to be very clear what's coming out. And so how I often refer to this is that there's no guessing involved. If I put something into a function, there is absolutely no guessing about what comes out. There's just one thing that could come out. And so I sometimes think of it as like a pop machine or vending machine of some sort. If there's a particular one that I want, my favorite is Mellow Yellow, and if I hit the button for Mellow Yellow, I want to know that I get Mellow Yellow out of it. If I got Pepsi instead, or Coke, or whatever it might be, I would not be happy. And so that input of pushing that button, I want to make sure that it's not a guessing game, that I know exactly what's coming out of that, and that's what a function's all about. As far as the domain goes, you've heard that before. Domain is a set of all input value, generally that's x's. Range is the set of all output values, that is generally y's. What I've got for you here is a picture from the book that illustrates what a function is and what it is not. So in this first one, these two blobs represent a function, because if I put in one value, there's only one path to get an output. You'll notice that I put in something, out comes only one thing. We know exactly what to expect. If I put in x4, I get y3 out. If I put in x3, I get y3. Now notice that these two are both going to the same thing. That's okay as long as it's not a guessing game. However, over on this one, the problem is that there are some times where we don't know what's going to come out. The problem in this case is x1, because if I put in x1, it looks like two different things could come out. That's a guessing game. So if I hit my Mellow Yellow button, but I could get Coke or I could get Mellow Yellow, I don't really know for sure, I'm not going to like that, and that's not going to be considered a function.